Let me tell you something they never put on a job application. Having too many interests isn't your problem. It might be the only thing that saves your career. Think about the last time someone asked you, "So what do you do?" And you felt that slight panic. Because how do you explain 5 obsessions that don't connect and none of them feel finished? Society has a very specific word for people like you: scattered, unfocused, a jack of all trades, master of none. And late at night, maybe you use a crueler word than that. But here's what the research actually shows. People with multiple, wide-ranging interests, people exactly like you, they don't just catch up to specialists in complex environments, they consistently outperform them. And the faster the world changes, and it is changing fast right now, the bigger that gap becomes. Today, I'm showing you the science behind why, not the motivational poster version, the actual research. By the end of this, you're going to feel something about your scattered brain you probably haven't felt in a long time: pride. But first, let me show you exactly how wrong the conventional advice has been, embarrassingly wrong. The pick one thing rule didn't come from science, it came from factories. Seriously, the industrial age needed workers who could do one task, repeat it perfectly, and never ask questions. One skill, maximum efficiency. That model got baked into schools, handed down by career counselors, repeated by well-meaning parents, and somewhere along the way, you internalized it like it was gospel, like curiosity itself was a character flaw. David Epstein wrote an entire book about this called Range, his finding in complex, unpredictable environments, which, by the way, describes every modern career. Generalists don't just survive, they win. So when exactly did having range become something to apologize for? Now here's where it gets interesting, and I need you to stay with me here, because this next part changes everything. Psychologist Barbara Sher spent decades studying people who couldn't stick to one interest. People who dive deep into photography, then pivot to coding, then suddenly become obsessed with neuroscience. She didn't call them lost, she gave them a name: scanners. And her argument was this: scanners don't abandon interests, they extract from them and move on. That's not quitting, that's efficiency. That's your brain running a system you weren't even aware of. Think about Da Vinci. Art, engineering, anatomy, music, architecture. Was he scattered, or was he building something no single discipline could contain? Benjamin Franklin, politician, scientist, writer, inventor. Elon Musk, physics, software, manufacturing, biology. These aren't people who couldn't focus. These are people who refused to be boxed in, and that refusal, that's what made them dangerous. Research shows lateral thinkers, people who pull from multiple domains, generate 3 times more novel solutions in complex problem-solving environments than narrow specialists. 3 times. So every interest you half learned wasn't a failure, it was data collection, and your brain was building something you can't see yet. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room: AI. Because if you've been watching the news, and I know you have, you've seen what's happening. AI can code, it can design, it can analyze massive data sets, write legal documents, build marketing campaigns. It does all of it faster and cheaper than any specialist alive. So ask yourself honestly, if your entire career value is "I am very good at one thing," how safe does that feel right now? Here's the thing though, and this is the part nobody is saying loudly enough: what AI cannot do is connect a deep understanding of human psychology with marketing strategy, with storytelling, to create something that actually moves people. That synthesis, that weird, beautiful collision of unrelated knowledge, that is lateral thinking. That is what you do, naturally, without even trying. You are not fragile, you are anti-fragile. Every interest you have is another thing AI has to beat you at, and it cannot beat all of them at once. Your range isn't a liability in the AI age. It might be the only real job security left. So what do you actually do with this? Because I'm not here to just make you feel good for 6 minutes and send you back to your life unchanged. Here are 3 things you can do tomorrow. First, rename it. Stop calling it scattered. Call it ranged. Your range is your resume in the AI age. The language you use about yourself matters more than you think. Second, make your intersection map. Write down your 3 biggest interests. Now find where they overlap. That overlap, that is your unfair advantage. That is the territory where no specialist can follow you because they only live in one part of the map. Third, forget the 10,000 hour rule. You don't need to master everything. You need to reach 80% in each domain and then stack them. A great writer is common. A great writer who understands psychology and design, that person runs the room every single time. Stop trying to pick one niche for life. Pick your 3 for the next 90 days. You don't quit, you rotate. And there is a massive difference between abandoning something and consciously choosing to return to it on your own terms. The world spent years telling you that your curiosity was a problem. It was always your superpower. You just needed the research to prove it. So here's the only question that matters now. What's the one interest you've been most ashamed of? The one you secretly think makes you look scattered? Drop it in the comments below, because I promise you that embarrassing interest is exactly the thing that makes you dangerous. I'll see you in the next one.